Welcome to a transforming journey that will unleash your financial potential and fulfill your abundance aspirations. Today, we delve into millionaires' mindsets and what it takes to be wealthy and successful. This path centers on a simple but fundamental truth. Becoming a millionaire requires a mentality shift from scarcity to plenty, from constraint to limitless possibilities. Taking responsibility for your financial future choices and daily actions is the first step. Becoming a millionaire is more than just getting rich. An attitude of discipline, commitment, and steadfast belief in wealth creation is needed. Recognizing that success is earned via focused effort, not luck, is key. As we explore the principles and techniques that have made millions of people millionaires, remember that you can change your financial situation. By taking responsibility for your thoughts, behaviors, and financial future, you start a sequence of events that can bring you endless wealth. Ready to adopt a millionaire mindset? Are you ready to take charge of your finances and plan for success? Please join me on this remarkable trip that promises a life beyond your wildest dreams. I think you'll agree with me that everyone wants to know how to get rich and become a millionaire. Some people just don't know where to begin, which is a shame. You might be shocked to learn that you can start today to get rich in your own way. Right away, I want to praise you on your choice to teach yourself. As a word of warning, I'd like you to pay close attention to this movie because I have a gift for you in the middle of it. There are over 80% of self-made millionaires in the U.S. who started out with nothing or very little. That sounds a lot like me. When I was young and in my early 30s, I never had extra money to start a fortune. It looked like there were always enough bills, if not too many, to spend all the money I made. I had debts all the time. You should be ready for your chance because you wouldn't have been able to do anything with a great business chance if it came up. You wouldn't have been in the right frame of mind. I learned that most of the people around me were in the same situation when I started to learn about making money and self-made millionaires. There wasn't much chance that the dream of getting really rich would come true. You could end up with more bills than money or assets, just like they did. There's no need to say more than that. The stats are pretty scary. Statistics from the insurance industry show that only 1 in 100 people who hit retirement age will be wealthy. 4 out of every 100 will be able to support themselves financially. After a lifetime of well-paying work in the richest society in human history, only 15 will have saved some money. The other 80 will depend on benefits, be working, or be broke. But why does this take place? Why do poor people retire? People don't have a good retirement for 2 main reasons. First, they never decide to be rich when they quit. They wish, hope, and pray that they will do it, but they never say for sure that they will. Second, they put things off until it's too late, even if they want to retire rich. They always have a good reason to put it off. But if they don't want to live that way and become rich, it starts with a wish and a decision. There are 4 important steps you must take, all beginning with the letter D, if you really want to beat the odds, become financially independent, and retire rich. The first is want. You have to want it badly enough to commit irrevocably and be prepared to give up things. Making a decision is the second D. You have to decide right now to do everything it takes. Be prepared to pay any cost, travel any distance in order to reach your objective. For financial success, you also need to develop discipline and resolve. Determination, the third D, is sticking with it till you succeed in spite of all of the challenges and setbacks you may run across. The fourth D is discipline, the discipline to know yourself and to form the routines required to become financially independent. These are the 4 Ds: desire, decision, determination, and discipline. And you may gauge your future success by ranking your performance in each on a 1 to 10 scale. Yet, where to begin? 3 immediate actions you can take to implement these concepts are as follows. First and foremost, decide today that, in spite of any short-term challenges, you will become financially independent. Subsequently, put it in writing, devise a strategy, and begin daily work on it. Second, make a predetermined decision that you will not give up, and you will keep going until you reach your objective. Third, I have a totally free present for you that is a training on how to draw in money, prosperity, and plenty. In only 21 days, financialize your life without compromising your morals, health, or overworking. And in this way, you might develop a millionaire mentality. The link is going to stay in the description. That being stated, I'll offer some advice to assist you. See the way ahead and create objectives to make more money than you could have ever imagined. The specifics of these 6 exercises can help you find financial freedom and become a millionaire, as well as clarity in your life. Firstly, how to make extra money. Draft your ideas first. Go get a spiral notepad. Write down all the ideas that occur to you during the day, and if at all feasible, carry it around. Periodically go over this idea log. Sometimes the thought that strikes you in a discussion while driving, sitting, reading, or watching TV could be the one that launches your career. If increasing your income is your aim, list every plan you have for achieving it. Write down the concept and capture it is the rule. You'll usually forget it if you don't jot it down right away. Second, set goals. Sit back and consider your financial objectives. Regularly take time to unwind and consider your objectives and the challenges standing in your way. You frequently get ideas during these downtimes that can save you hours, days, and perhaps years of laborious work. The third is using the magic wand approach to achieve financial freedom. Daydreaming is a regular exercise to practice. This is also referred to as the magic wand technique at times. Imagine you could wave your magic wand over your present predicament or issue. As you wave your magic wand, picture that everything that stands in your way of your financial objectives is gone. Fourth, consider your financial objectives and project forward. Suppose you want to launch a profitable company in a certain industry. Imagine that 3 or 5 years from now, you have a prosperous company in that sector. It would look like what? It would be enormous, right? You would work with what kind of people, what sort of market reputation would you enjoy? At what sales and profitability level would you be? How would you manage this company? And moreover, what might you do now to turn this future ambition into a reality? Fifth tip, mental assault is the key to becoming rich. The 20 ideas method or mental assault is maybe the most effective way to stimulate creative thought in any subject. Using this concept more than any other creative thinking technique ever found, more people, including me, have become rich. Using this method alone, in fact, might help you become financially independent. The technique is easy. Start a piece of paper with any problem or objective, written as a question at the top. To double your income in the next 12 months, for instance, you would write, how can I double my income over the next 12 months? You then discipline yourself to write a minimum of 20 responses to that question. If you would want, you can write more than 20 responses, but you have to exercise self-control and resolve to write at least that many. Sixth tip, put money away and become a millionaire. Saving $100 every month from the time you started working at the age of 20 until you retired at 65, and investing that money in a mutual fund that yielded an average of 10% return would be one of the simplest approaches. At retirement, it would be valued about $1,800,000. Most likely your character and mentality would be so shaped by your discipline and will to save at any age, year after year, that you would wind up making far more than the 10% yearly. Nonetheless, everyone may become a millionaire on their own for $100 a month. Take action. Focused questions make you think and come up with new ideas. After you set a goal, ask yourself, why am I not already here? What's the main reason? To start your journey to wealth, do these routines right now. There's a gift I left for you in the video description that you should take. If you really want to change your financial situation and get rich, we'll keep the link in the text. You can learn how to bring money, wealth, and abundance into your life in just 21 days without giving up family, health, morals, or working too much. And this is how you can think like a millionaire. Now, remember that you will only be able to get the lessons for a short time. So, if you really want to get ahead financially, you need to make a choice right now. Share this video with your friends, family, and other people you care about. Simply tell us in the box below how much you liked the movie and which lesson you found most interesting. We'll see you in the next one. Finally, remember this. Becoming a millionaire is not a goal, it's a path. A journey of learning about yourself, growing, and becoming more powerful. It's not just about getting rich. It's also about developing a mindset of plenty strength and unwavering drive. As this part comes to a close, I want you to take charge of your financial future. You are responsible for what you think, what you do, and what you believe about money. Know that you have the power to make your dreams come true and change your fate. Adopt the habits, way of thinking, and success concepts we talked about today. It's important to always be striving for perfection and to stay committed to reaching your goals. Remember that only a few people can become millionaires, Anyone who is ready to put in the work, invest in themselves, and believe in their own limitless potential can become a millionaire. So, my friends, go out with faith. Be in charge of your own money matters and don't be afraid to dream big. When it comes to getting rich, the only thing that stops you are the limits you set for yourself. Thanks for coming with me on this journey of change. Happy birthday. May you be successful, wealthy, and there are 5 common mistakes that prevent the majority of Americans from becoming wealthy. The first reason why people don't become wealthy is because it never occurs to them that it is possible for them. They never take any of the steps necessary to make it a reality. The second reason that people don't become wealthy is that they never decide to. Even if it occurs to a person that he could become wealthy if he just did certain things in a certain way, if he doesn't decide to take the first step, he ends up staying as he is. The third reason that people don't become wealthy is procrastination. Even if it's occurred to a person that they can become wealthy, and they have made a decision to change, procrastination will push all their plans into the indefinite future, and nothing will ever happen. The fourth reason that people retire poor is what economists call the inability to delay gratification. If you cannot have money, number 1 is the law of abundance. We live in an abundant universe in which there is sufficient money for all who really want it and who are willing to obey the laws governing its acquisition. Your attitude of either abundance or scarcity toward money will have a major impact on whether you become rich or not. Individuals become wealthy because they believe they have the ability to become wealthy. They consistently do the things that turn their beliefs into realities. Why aren't you rich already? This is an important question to ask yourself. Your answers will expose your self-limiting beliefs, your doubts, fears, your favorite excuses, your rationalizations, and your justification. Write down all the reasons you could think of. Whatever your reasons or excuses, you can now get rid of them. The world is full of hundreds and thousands of people who have had far more difficulties. They've gone on to be successful, and so can you. Number 2, Parkinson's Law. Parkinson's Law is one of the best known and the most important laws of money and wealth accumulation. This law says that no matter how much money people earn, they tend to spend the entire amount and a little bit more besides. No matter how much they make, there never seems to be enough. The first corollary of Parkinson's Law says, financial independence comes from violating Parkinson's Law. It is only when you develop sufficient willpower to resist the powerful urge to spend everything you make that you begin to accumulate money and move ahead of the crowd. The second corollary of Parkinson's Law is this. If you allow your expenses to increase at a slower rate than your income increases, and you save or invest the difference, you will become financially independent in your working lifetime. From this point onward, resolve to save and invest 50% of any increase you receive in your income from any source. This still leaves you the other 50% to do it as you desire. Number 3, the law of 3. There are 3 legs to the stool of financial freedom: savings, insurance, and investment. To be fully protected against the unexpected, you require liquid savings equal to 2 to 6 months of normal expenses. The very act of saving this amount of money and putting it into a high-yielding savings account or a money market account will give you a tremendous sense of confidence and inner peace. The second corollary of the law of 3 says that you must insure adequately to provide against any emergency that you cannot pay for out of your bank account. Always carry sufficient insurance to protect yourself against an emergency that you cannot write a check to cover. And without adequate insurance, you are taking risks that you simply can't. Your ultimate financial goal should be to accumulate capital until your investments are paying you more than you can earn on your job. This seems like a very simple lifetime planning strategy, but it's remarkable how few people follow it, and how many people end up at the age of 65 with very little put aside. Number 4, the law of the compound interest. When you let money accumulate at compound interest over a long enough period of time, it increases more than you can imagine. You can use the rule of 72 to determine how long it would take for your money to double at any rate of interest. For example, if you were receiving 8% interest on your investment, and you divided the number 72 by 8, you would get the number 9. This means that it would take you 9 years to double your money at 8% interest. The key to compound interest is to put the money away and never touch it. Though you spend only a small amount today, you will be giving up what could be an enormous amount later on. If you start early enough, invest consistently enough, never draw on your funds, and rely on the miracle of compound interest, that will make you rich. Begin a regular monthly investment account and commit yourself to investing a fixed amount for the next 5, 10, or even 20 years. Number 5, the law of magnetism. The more money you save and accumulate, the more money you attract into your life. The more positive emotions you associate with your money, the more opportunities you will attract to acquire even more. The first corollary of the law of magnetism, as it applies to money, is that a prosperity consciousness attracts money like iron filings to a magnet. This is why it is so important for you to start accumulating money. No matter what your situation, that money, magnetized by your emotions of desire and hope, will begin to attract more money to you faster than you can imagine. You'll be amazed at what starts to happen. The more time you take to think intelligently about your finances, the better decisions you will make, and the more money you'll have to think about. Law number 6 of accelerating acceleration. The more money you accumulate and the more success you achieve, the more and faster money and success seems to move towards you from a variety of different directions. Fully 80% of your success will come in the last 20% of the time that you invest or put in. You'll achieve only about 20% of the total success possible for you in the first 80% of the time and money that you invest. You'll achieve the other 80% in the last 20% of the time and money that you invest. To the greatest discovery of the 20th century, the discovery of the self-concept. And this self-concept is a combination of all your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, doubts, hopes, fears, and experiences throughout your entire life that come together to make you the kind of person you are today. How you perform and behave on the outside, how you treat with people, what you accomplish, is all determined by your internal programming. We also know that each person has a series of mini self-concepts. What they have found is that every person has a self-concept which is like a thermostat. And this self-concept with regard to money, you never go more than 10% above or below your self-concept level of income. If you earn 10% or more below your self-concept level of income, you engage in what are called scrambling behaviors, and you scramble to get your income back up. But once you're into that 10% range, plus or minus, you relax. And this becomes your comfort zone. And the great enemy of human success is the comfort zone. The only way that you can increase your income is to change your self-concept in relationship to income. Your overall self-concept is determined by your self-concept in all the areas of your life that you consider important. Is that your self-concept is made up of 3 parts. Number 1, it's made up of your self-ideal. Your self-ideal, like 3 wedges of a pie, consists of your values, it consists of your ideals, consists of your goals, consists of your hopes, consists of your dreams, consists of all those things that are inside you. There's a direct relationship between how clear you are about your goals and ideals and your self-ideal. What do we know about top people? Top people are clear about what they believe in, and they don't compromise their values. What do we know about little people, weak people? Is they're very confused about their values, and they compromise them for the slightest advantage. And the second part of your self-concept is called your self-image. Your self-image is the way you see yourself and the way you think about yourself. Your self-image is called your inner mirror. Whenever you go to do anything, you check this mirror before you go in to see somebody in a sales call. You just got to check your inner mirror to see, how do I perform in sales call? And your performance on the outside is largely determined by your self-image. Remember, most people look at a mirror. Intelligent people realize that whatever they see in their outer world is coming from themselves. So they always ask this great question, is what is it in me? The average person always tries to blame something in their external environment or someone, past, present, future. The third part of your self-concept is your self-esteem. Your self-esteem is the most important part of all. This is the emotional part of your personality. Whenever your self-image, your personal performance, is consistent with your self-ideal, the person that you would most like to be, your self-esteem goes up. Whenever you do something that's not like you, blow up, you get mad, I swear, you do something that, that's not consistent with the best person you could be, your self-esteem takes a hit. Whenever you say the words, I like myself, your overall self-concept goes up. Your self-image improves and your self-ideal clarifies. And as your self-concept goes up, your performance and your behavior, every part of your life goes up as well. So if you keep repeating, I like myself. What happens is, eventually it becomes a habit of thinking. Wake up in the morning, say, I like myself. Throughout the day, you say, I like myself. Somebody's rude or difficult, you say, doesn't bother me, I like myself. And you act like it initially. You like getting fit, your muscles will be stiff, but after a while it starts to become automatic. Whenever you have any kind of negative event, you can immediately zap it by saying, oh, wait a minute, I like myself. Here's the most wonderful thing. The more you like yourself, the more you like other people. And the more you like other people, the more they like you right back. And what do you think is the foundation of self-confidence? Do you like yourself? Mistake. The more you like yourself, the higher your level of self-confidence. The more you like yourself, the less you feel your fear, failure, and rejection. In other words, things don't bother you because you actually develop almost like a Teflon cover around your emotions and you become a completely positive. This 60s that posted that says, I do not love you for yourself, but for the way you make me feel when I'm with you. The most powerful thing you can do in your relationships with other people is to make them like you. It's to say things and do things with them, not manipulatively, but positively, that cause them likeness. You go through the world sort of like a hummingbird going from flower to flower, making people feel important, making people like themselves. They're one of the most popular people there is. But you can't give away something you don't have. You can't make other people feel good about themselves unless you feel good about yourself. But if you really like yourself, you spontaneously and naturally, you would say the things that cause other people to feel good about themselves. And when you talk to yourself in a positive way, your self-confidence goes up, game goes up, your relationships improve, sales will go up. All you need to do to raise your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your level of attainment high, is to have an absolutely crystal clear goal and work on it every single day. Psychologists recently have concluded as you feel yourself moving towards something that is important to you, your self-esteem and self-confidence go up. Whenever you think of something that makes you unhappy or negative, you swing your thoughts off them and you think about your goal and you work on your goal. Because your mind can only hold one thought at a time. And if you're totally determined to achieve a single goal and you think about it and work on it every day, eventually all the other things will fall away. There's a wonderful line, when you turn toward the sunshine, the shadows fall behind you. We, in our advanced coaching programs, we teach people to write down and create goals and plans. Once they've done it all, 90 days later they come back and say, how many of you reviewed your goals and plans in the last 90 days? Most of them didn't do it. How many of you achieved your goals and plans? All of them. The most amazing darn thing, because by writing them out, they've programmed them into their subconscious mind, which then works 24 hours a day to bring it into their lives. Now here's the key. Do not refer to the previous day. What you do is you turn it over and you rewrite your goals again today. When you first write down 10 goals, they will be the first things that occur to you. The next day, when you write them down without reference, you will change the order. So you find yourself writing the goals differently and in different order and sequence. Then, one by one, they start to be achieved and replaced by a new goal. A year from now, you will have accomplished so much. It will be astonishing to you. All it takes is 5 minutes a day. And it's really a test of how much you really want those goals. Is do you have the discipline to rewrite them every day? If you will do that, that front loads the entire success process. The very act of writing goals raises your self-esteem. It improves your self-image. It increases your self-confidence. And it activates your creative mind to start to see all kinds of ideas and ways to achieve the goals that you've written. It's literally life-changing. That one technique. I have never written a goal that I didn't achieve. And I've gone from living from rags to riches. And it was exactly what I wrote down. Write down what you want and make it clear so that the universe can help you get it. Create within your mind the mental equivalent of what you would like to see on the outside. If you will do that, All the mental laws that we've talked about and many more that we haven't had a chance to go into, and what you want will appear on the outside by the law of cause and effect, belief, expectation, attraction, correspondence, and so on. Take a clean piece of paper when you get home, and you to write down 10 goals. And these goals, you can write more than 10 if you like, but you must write a minimum of 10. These goals are one-year goals, approximately. You write them in the present tense as though a year has passed, and you are reporting they've already been achieved. I have taken people through this exercise all over the world, and once I come back a year or 2 years later, and they say the same words in every language. You won't believe what's happened to me. You won't believe it. I found those goals in something a year later, and you won't believe what's happened to me. I've accomplished all the goals. When you write down a goal, you activate 3 learning modalities. The visual, you can see it. The auditory, you sub-vocalize it. We say it to yourself. And the kinesthetic, you write it. All 3 together, and it goes straight into the subconscious mind. And just go on with the rest of your life. And 24 hours a day, great superconscious mind is working to bring the goal into your life. When you get a chance, you sit down, you write this goal at the top of a page, and you set a deadline for the goal. When you get up in the morning, you think about the goal. When you go through the day, you think about the goal. Whenever something gets you off track, you stop and think about the goal. Because the goal is always inherently positive. When you think about the goal, you become happy. You move toward the goal, you feel powerful. You feel like a winner. You feel like you're in control of your life. And once you know you can do anything you put your mind to, your self-confidence will go through the roof. One of the most important characteristics of leaders and top people in every area of life is that they know who they are, what they believe in, and what they stand for. Average people are usually confused about their goals, values, and ideals, and as a result, they go back and forth and accomplish very little. Men and women who become leaders, on the other hand, with the same or even fewer abilities and opportunities, go on to accomplish great things in whatever they attempt. Life is lived from the inside out. The very core of your personality is your values. Your values are what make you the person you are. Everything you do on the outside is dictated and determined by your values on the inside, whether clear or fuzzy. The greater clarity you have regarding your values on the inside, the more precise and effective will be your actions on the outside. You can imagine your personality by thinking of a target with concentric rings. From the inside to the outside, your personality is also made up of 5 rings. Starting from the center, your values radiate outward to the next circle, your beliefs. Your values determine your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. If you have positive values such as love, compassion, and generosity, you will believe that people in your world are deserving of these values, and you will treat them accordingly. Your beliefs, in turn, determine the 3rd ring of your personality, your expectations. If you have positive values, you will believe yourself to be a good person. If you believe yourself to be a good person, you will expect good things to happen to you. If you expect good things to happen to you, you will be positive, cheerful, and future-oriented. You will look for the good in other people and situations. The 4th level of your personality, determined by your expectations, is your attitude. Your attitude will be an outward manifestation or reflection of your values, beliefs, and expectations. For example, if your value is that this is a good world to live in, and your belief is that you are going to be very successful in life, you will expect that everything that happens to you is helping you in some way. As a result, you will have a positive mental attitude toward other people, and they will respond positively toward you. You will be a more cheerful and optimistic person. You will be someone that others want to work with and for, buy from, sell to, and generally help to be more successful. This is why a positive mental attitude seems to go hand in hand with great success in every walk of life. The 5th ring or level of life is your actions. Your actions on the outside will ultimately be a reflection of your innermost values, beliefs, and expectations on the inside. This is why what you achieve in life and work will be determined more by what is going on inside of you than by any other factor. You can always tell how a person thinks most of the time by looking at the conditions of their outer lives. A positive, optimistic, goal and future-oriented person on the inside will enjoy a happy, successful, and prosperous life on the outside most of the time. Aristotle said, that the ultimate aim or purpose of human life is to achieve your own happiness. You are the very happiest when what you are doing on the outside is congruent with your values on the inside. When you are living in complete alignment with what you consider to be good and right and true, you will automatically feel happy and positive about yourself and your world. Your goals must be congruent with your values, and your values must be congruent with your goals. This is why clarifying your values is often the starting point to high achievement in peak performance. Values clarification requires that you think through what is really important to you in life. You then organize your entire life around these values. Any attempt to live on the outside in a manner that contradicts the values you hold on the inside will cause you stress, negativity, unhappiness, pessimism, and even anger and frustration. Your chief responsibility to yourself in the creation of a great life is therefore for you to develop absolute clarity about your values in everything you do. Stephen Covey once said, "Be sure that as you scramble up the ladder of success, it is leaning against the right building." Carly Simon once sang a famous line, "Is this all there is?" Many people work hard on the outside to achieve goals that they think they want, only to find at the end of the day that they get no joy or satisfaction from their accomplishments. This occurs when the outer accomplishment is not in harmony with your inner values. Don't let this happen to you. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This applies to your values as much as to any other area of your life. Values clarification is something you do on a go-forward basis. You continually stop the clock like a timeout in a football game and ask, what are my values in this area? In the Bible it says, what does it benefit a man if he achieves the whole world but loses his own soul? The happiest people in the world today are those who are living in harmony with their innermost convictions and values. The unhappiest people are those who are attempting to live incongruent with what they truly value and believe. Self-trust is the foundation of greatness. Self-trust comes from listening to your intuition, to your still small voice within. Men and women begin to become great when they begin to listen to their inner voices and absolutely trust that they're being guided by a higher power each step of the way. Living in alignment with your true values is the royal road to self-confidence, self-respect, and personal pride. In fact, almost every human problem can be resolved by returning to values. Whenever you experience stress of any kind, look into yourself and ask, in what way am I compromising my innermost values in this situation? How can you tell what your values really are? The answer is simple. You always demonstrate your true values in your actions, and especially your actions under pressure. Whenever you are forced to choose between one behavior and another, you will always act consistent with what is most important and valuable to you at that moment. Values, in fact, are organized in a hierarchy. You have a series of values, some of them very intense and important, and some of them weaker and less important. One of the most important exercises you can engage in to determine who you really are and what you really want is to organize your values by priority. Once you are clear about the relative importance of your values, you can then organize your outer life so that it is in alignment with them. There are some insightful ways to help you determine your true values. First of all, you can look at your past. How have you behaved under pressure in the past? What choices did you make with your time or money when you were forced to choose? Your answers will give you an indication of your predominant values at that time. Dale Carnegie once wrote, "Tell me what gives a person his greatest feeling of importance, and I will tell you his entire philosophy of life. What makes you feel important? What raises your self-esteem? What increases your sense of self-respect and personal pride? What have you accomplished in your past life that has given you the greatest sense of pride and satisfaction?" These answers will give you good indications of your true values. The spiritual teacher Emmett Fox wrote about the importance of discovering your heart's desire. What is your heart's desire? What is it that deep down in your heart, more than anything else, you would like to have or do in life? As a friend of mine asks, what do you want to be famous for? What words would you like people to use to describe you when you are not there? What would you like people to say about you when you have passed on? What would you like someone to say about you at your funeral? How do you want your family, friends, and children to remember you? How would you want them to talk about you after you had left this earth? How would you like people to talk about you? What kind of a reputation do you have today? What kind of a reputation would you like to have sometime in the future? What would you have to begin doing today in order to create the kind of reputation that you desire? Many people have had difficult experiences growing up. They have fallen onto hard times and become associated with the wrong people. They have behaved in ways that were illegal or socially unacceptable. Sometimes they have even been convicted and sent to prison for their crimes. But at a certain point in life, they decided to change. They thought seriously about the kind of person that they wanted to be known as and thought of in the future. They decided to change their lives by changing the values that they lived by. By making these decisions and sticking to them, they changed their lives. And what others have done, you can do as well. Remember, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that really matters is where you're going. If you were an outstanding person in every respect, how would you behave toward others? What sort of impression would you leave on others after you had met them and spoken with them? Imagine you could be a completely excellent person. How would you be different from today? In psychology, your level of self-esteem determines your level of happiness. Self-esteem is defined as how much you like yourself. Your self-esteem, in turn, is determined by your self-image. This is the way you see yourself and think about yourself in your day-to-day interactions with others. Your self-image is shaped by your self-ideal. Your self-ideal is made up of the virtues, values, goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations that you have for yourself sometime in the future. Here's what psychologists have discovered. The more your behavior in the moment is consistent with what you feel your ideal behavior should be, the more you like and respect yourself, and the happier you are. On the other hand, whenever you behave in a way that is inconsistent with your ideal of your very best behavior, you experience a negative self-image. You feel yourself to be performing below your best, below what you truly aspire to. As a result, your self-esteem and your level of happiness decrease. The moment that you begin walking, talking, and behaving in ways that are consistent with your highest ideals, your self-image improves, your self-esteem increases, and you feel happier about yourself and your world. For example, whenever you are complimented or praised by another person or given a prize or an award for accomplishment, your self-esteem goes up, sometimes dramatically. You feel happy about yourself. You feel that your whole life is in harmony and that you are living congruent with your highest ideals. You feel successful and valuable. Your aim should be to deliberately and systematically create the circumstances that raise your self-esteem in everything you do. You should live your life as if you were already the outstanding person that you intend to be sometime in the future. What are your values today with regard to your work and your career? Do you believe in the values of integrity, hard work, dependability, creativity, cooperation, initiative, ambition, and getting along well with people? People who live these values in their work are vastly more successful and more highly esteemed than people who do not. What are your values with regard to your family? Do you believe in the importance of unconditional love, continuous encouragement and reinforcement, patience, forgiveness, generosity, warmth, and attentiveness? People who practice these values consistently with the important people in their lives are much happier than people who do not. What are your values with regard to money and financial success? Do you believe in the importance of honesty, industry, thrift, frugality, education, excellent performance, quality, and persistence? People who practice these values are far more successful in their financial lives than those who do not, and far faster as well. What about your health? Do you believe in the importance of self-discipline, self-mastery, and self-control with regard to diet, exercise, and rest? Do you set high standards for your levels of health and fitness and then work every day to live up to those standards? People who practice these values live longer, healthier lives than people who do not. Remember, you become what you think about most of the time. Successful, happy people think about their values and how they can live and practice those values in every part of their lives, every single day. The big payoff is that the more you live your life consistent with your values, the happier, healthier, more positive and energetic you will be. Perhaps the most important value of all is that of integrity. A billionaire once said to me, integrity is not so much a value in itself, it is rather the value that guarantees all the other values. Wow, this was a great insight for me. Once you have decided that you are going to live consistent with a value, your level of integrity determines whether or not you follow through on your commitment. The more you discipline yourself to live consistent with the very best you know, the greater is your level of personal integrity, and the higher your level of integrity, the happier and more powerful you will feel in everything you do. Truly great men and women are always described as having high levels of integrity. They live their lives consistent with their highest values, even when no one is looking. Mediocre men and women, on the other hand, are always cutting corners and compromising their integrity, especially when no one is watching. Decide today to be a man or woman of honor. Resolve to tell the truth and to live in truth with yourself and others. Crystallize your values in each area of your life. Write them down. Think of how you would behave if you were living consistent with those values, and then refuse to compromise them for any reason. Once you accept complete responsibility for your life and for everything that happens to you, and then create an ideal picture of your perfect future and clarify your values, you are now ready to begin setting clear, specific goals in every area of your life. You are now on the launching ramp and ready to take off toward the stars. Hello, and welcome to a journey of change. This journey has the power to help you reach your highest goals and reach your full potential. As I stand here today, I'm not just going to talk, I'm going to be your guide and show you the 7 steps that will help you reach your goals. There's been a time when we let our dreams stay in the realm of the possible, unrealized, and untapped. Tomorrow is a new day, though, and we will start over on our path to success and self-actualization. Let us let go of the fears and doubts that have been holding us back as we start this journey together. Instead, let us embrace the endless opportunities that lie ahead of us. With each step we take, we're getting closer to the life we've always dreamed of and the person we've always wanted to be. We can close the gap between where we are now and where we want to be by following these 7 steps with discipline. This will turn our goals from vague dreams into real things. Let's not be scared off by how big the job is. Instead, let's break it up into doable steps that will bring us closer to the top of the success ladder. Let's promise ourselves again that we will follow our dreams with each step, knowing that each step brings us 1 step closer to reaching our goals. Let's look into these 7 steps with open thoughts and hearts, knowing that we all have the power to change our lives. Let's start this journey of growth and learning together, making sure that we can get through any problem and reach any goal we set our sights on. Have you ever felt like someone had more luck than you, or that their luck never ran out? Do you think it's possible to make luck happen? It's easier than you think to learn how to be lucky. I will show you 7 of the best ways to get lucky that you can learn. You can quickly add any of these lucky things to your life, and they will all make it twice as effective in very little time. You can now make your own luck. Clarity. Being clear is the first thing you can do to make your own luck. It only means that you know exactly what you want, which may be the most important thing for luck at first. You will be more aware of the chances and opportunities to reach your goal if you're clear on what you want. You'll have an easier time getting what you want if you are very clear about it. People who are successful know exactly who they are, what they want, and what they need to do to get there. People who are unhappy and failing, on the other hand, often don't know what they think or what they really want out of life. You can't hit something you can't see, as the saying goes. Lucky people seem to have a very clear idea of what they want to achieve and how they can get there. Make a list of all the things you want to do in the next 12 months. Getting a piece of paper and writing down at least 10 things you want to do in the next 12 months is one of the easiest ways to change your luck. It might not look like a hard practice, but less than 3% of adults will do it at some point in their lives. And those 3% will end up at the top of all of the companies or organizations they work for. Some people say that all you need is a pen and paper to start being successful and wealthy. 97% of people who walk today don't have any plans. putting pen to paper and writing down the 10 things you want to accomplish in the next 12 months puts you in the top 3% of people alive right now. It only takes 3 to 5 minutes. Plan how you'll get what you want. One important thing that makes people lucky is that they ask themselves, would I like to know if this would serve me? When they hear a good idea, unlucky people, on the other hand, always ask themselves, will this serve me for anything? The lucky person always asks, how? When they think about something they want, they always ask themselves, how can I get it or acquire it? This way of thinking seems to make their subconscious and conscious minds see possibilities and come up with ideas that will help them reach their goals. But when you say yes, your brain seems to shut down its creative abilities. There is a small organ that looks like a finger. It is called the reticular cortex. This part of the brain is like a phone exchange. It decides what information can get to your eyes, ears, and other senses. This reticular cortex lets you focus on the parts of your surroundings that are important to you and ignore the rest because it is constantly getting hundreds of thousands of messages from all sorts of directions. This part of your brain is activated when you have a clear goal, an order, a wish, or even a fear. For instance, if you really want to buy a red sports car and are really excited about the idea of it, you will start to see red sports cars everywhere. The reticular cortex will pick up on that same car coming around the corner 2 or 3 blocks ahead of you and send it to your conscious thought. But are people who are great just luckier? We know that successful people constantly think about what they want. This trains their reticular cortex to make them more alert to and aware of the chances and opportunities that are out there to help them reach their goals. People who have failed or been unlucky always think that these goals are probably out of reach and send an unintended message to their reticular cortex, telling it not to pay attention to ideas or chances that come up in their environment. People who are successful are said to always seem to know what they want and be driven to get it. People who have failed are said to not know what they want in life. Be very clear about what you want to achieve. Think of this luck factor as a light switch in a dark room where you're going to throw darts. As soon as you know exactly what you want to achieve, you turn the dimmer switch all the way up to full light, and the dartboard becomes as clear as glass. If you throw darts at this kind of board from a long way away in a dark room, you have a much lower chance of hitting the bullseye. The second way luck works is through action. Being very active, especially being proactive, makes you do more things, which makes it more likely that you will do the right thing at the right time and in the right way. For instance, if you won a prize for flipping a coin 100 times, the best way to make sure you win that prize would be to flip the coin as many times as possible in the least amount of time. It would not have been a matter of luck at all if you did win the prize. It would just depend on how often you tried to flip heads. Being self-reliant is the first step to getting things done because all high-performance men and women are very action-oriented and rely on themselves a lot. They look to themselves, solve their problems. They understand that no one helps them. People stop looking for other people to do things for them when they believe they are fully responsible for their own life, job, health, family, and money. Instead of making excuses, you start to move forward. You understand that you are who and where you are because of yourself. You have to make the changes you need to make right away if you want to be, or do something different. If you want to have more happiness, you should have a strong desire to act. Feel like you need to do something right away and move quickly. You have more energy when you move faster. You get more experience as you move faster. If you move faster, you'll get more done and be more successful. Mastery, getting better at something, has always been a great way to get lucky. With knowledge and know-how, you can do well. You will always get paid based on how well you do your job and how hard it would be to replace you. The era of work is over, and the age of mental power has begun. As much or more than any other trait, your luck and success in a given area will depend on how much you know and how good you are at it. Learn everything you can about your subject. People today are paid based on how well they do their job, not how old they are or how long they've been working there. You'll have more luck if you're better. If you want to be in the top 1% of your area, you have to be willing to pay anything and put in the time to get there. When it comes to skill, luck may be the most important thing that can help you be very successful. You can have all the chances in the world, though, if you're not good at what you do. Power, having power, is another important way to improve your luck. People who are successful always seem to have a lot more energy than people who are not successful. They get up early and get to work faster. During the day and night, they work longer hours. And in the nights and on the weekends, they spend time on things other than their jobs. In a lucky quote, the writer said, "I believe in luck, and the harder I work, the luckier I get. The harder you work, the more you accomplish. The more you accomplish, the more you will catch the attention of people who can open doors for you and help you climb even higher and faster." There's nothing like a reputation for hard work to put you on the fast track of any career you choose. Personality. How you learn and how lucky you are depend on your personality. More people will want to be around you and help you in any way they can if you are happy, positive, and upbeat. People who are lucky are often also happy and upbeat. People get along with them and they have a lot of friends and contacts in many different places. You are more likely to meet the right person at the right time who can open the door to the right chance if you know a lot of good people. Almost every time you have good luck, someone is standing there at the same time, either giving you advice or with their hand on an open door. A casual comment or a friendly acquaintance giving someone important information or a chance that helped them make more progress in a couple of years than most people make in their whole lives has changed the lives of many people. People who are successful are often described as nice. If you are known as a good person, others will help you. The golden rule says to treat others the way you want to be treated. When a person is positive, they trigger the law of attraction, which brings people and situations into their life that are good for them. It's true that being nice will make you lucky. Being honest and having integrity. Being honest and having integrity are the most valued and admired traits in both friendship and leadership. The most important people in your life are the ones you care about the most and trust the most. As Shakespeare said, "To thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day." You can't lie to anyone. Being honest with yourself is what personal ethics are all about. This means you should always be honest with yourself. Being honest and having ethics are musts for success in business at any level and in any field. Luck will come your way like honey draws bees or a moth to a light if you're known as a person of honor, quality, and truth. Intensity. A person's intense drive to succeed may be the trait that makes them stand out the most. In the end, the winner is always the person who wants something longer and harder than the other person. People are more likely to learn what they need to learn and do what they need to do to get what they want when they work hard for it. You will read more books, listen to more tapes, take more different classes, meet more people, and go farther. You will work longer hours and try more new things. It will make it much more likely that you will be in the right place at the right time. And if you combine the seriousness of your purpose with the trait of persistence, you will become a natural force that can't be stopped. It's said that you will have more happiness than most people if you are very clear about what you want and are willing to put in a lot of work to get it. You'll go farther and faster than anyone else if you decide to learn your field and work hard at it with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Being a happy, positive person with a good reputation for honesty and integrity will put you on the side of the angels. You will also be one of the luckiest people in the world if you support every wish and goal with unwavering confidence and persistence and keep going no matter what. Being lucky is up to you. If you live the life you want, your future will be endless. As we come to the end of the 7 steps to reaching your goals, let's take a moment to think about what we've learned and how far we've come. The road to success isn't always a straight line, and it's often full of hurdles and problems that test our resolve. We have, however, given ourselves the tools and strategies we need to face these challenges with grace and drive by following these 7 steps religiously. Before you leave this meeting, remember that the way to your goals is not a sprint, but a run that requires patience, persistence, and unwavering commitment. You're getting closer to your dreams with every step, no matter how small. Even when things go wrong, they just serve as stepping stones to bigger and better things. You have the power to do anything you set your mind to, so go out into the world with confidence and purpose. Let the lessons you've learned and the principles you've agreed to follow today help you reach your goals. And may your journey be filled with growth, happiness, and plenty. Thank you for giving me the chance to be a part of this life-changing journey with you. May you always aim for perfection in everything you do, and may your dreams reach even higher heights than your goals.